Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sideline Junkies Saturday Night Wrestlemaniacs on your TV. It is I, the big guy KG, sitting in with none other than the cigar aficionado, bourbon sipper, the Nubian Sumo. How you feeling tonight, brother?
You forgot something.
I'm sorry. Let me restart. I'm sitting in tonight with the cigar aficionado, bourbon sipper, and your current picks champion, the Nubian Sumo.
Yeah, my advocate is on vacation, about to get on a boat tomorrow, so I couldn't do this properly. But ladies and gentlemen, after last week, I am still your Sideline Junkie Saturday Night WrestleManiacs premium live event pay-per-view picks champion.
I can't hate.
Damn, that tastes good. And I ain't talking about the cigar.
I can't hate. I can't say anything bad. We normally number in 3. We are down one tonight. The People's Choice Don Rodriguez is a little under the weather, couldn't join us tonight.
Isn't that convenient?
So you just have us on a 2-man power trip tonight.
And out of respect to KG, you know, everybody says I throw this in his face. So I'm just gonna place this over here so I can show some respect to my boy there. You know, since it's just the two of us. And we can go ahead on with the show.
All right. Yeah, gotta get it right. Starting off on a somber note, we lost a WWE legend, WCW legend, and Psycho Sid Vicious, whatever you want to call him. But he was Sid. Spent time WWE, WCW, CWA, NWA, Southeastern Wrestling, USWA. I mean, the amount of accomplishments. The AWF Super Heavyweight Champion, CWA Heavyweight Champion, NWA Heavyweight Champion, USWA Texas Heavyweight Champion, USWA Unified World Champion 2 times over, WCW World Champion 2 times, WCW United States Champion, WWF Champion. Also won Comeback of the Year in 1996. If you remember that gruesome leg injury he suffered. Man, your thoughts, Nubian Sumo, on the great Sid Vicious?
I remember the first time seeing Sid Vicious, not knowing who he was because he was under a mask as Lord Humongous in Memphis. Now, there were 2 Lord Humongouses that were going around at that time. One unmasked, which was Sid Vicious, and the other one didn't wear a mask, but you know they were both doing that Mad Max gimmick, you know, with Lord Humongous. But it was Sid's version that everybody was clamoring for. You know, the man was huge. You know, 6'9", 6'9", like 230, 235 or something like that. I mean, he was a big guy, you know, and he was unique in at that time as far as his physique was concerned, because you didn't really have too many guys that were that tall and that muscular. You know, you had the Andre the Giants, but they were, you know, a little more stout and a little more heavy. Or you had your Big John Studs, you know, who they were kind of stocky. You know, if they were big, they weren't that muscular. But Sid Vicious came out, and it was just a whole new thing. You know, he was different, and everybody was clamoring for him. So he was all over the place. And then he gets to the NWA, and he joins the Masters of the Powerbomb with Dan Spivey, and they go around doing their thing. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Masters of the Powerbomb was him and the Undertaker, him and Mark Callis. I'm sorry. And then Callis wound up leaving. He got fired, and they brought in Dan Spivey, and then they were the Skyscrapers, managed under Teddy Long.
Who is it that Teddy Long ain't managed?
So, you know, that they were a big deal. I mean, imagine them two going up against the Road Warriors, the Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, you know, the Barbarian and Warlord around that time. Was did they wrestle Rick Rude and Manny Fernandez? I'm trying to remember. They could have.
On that than mine.
But yeah, all the major tag teams in the NWA, they were going after them, you know, pretty good.
I got confidence that they did wrestle.
Okay. So so then you had Sid go to the WWF. He went out there and made an impression, but from what I gather, what I remember, you had Shawn Michaels in a situation with Vader that, you know, everybody knows how that turned out. But then he decided he wanted to start something with Sid because Sid was, you know, coming in hot, and that look, he wanted to take advantage of it. So yeah, so so everybody, I mean, everybody knows from there. But yeah, Sid really didn't get his flowers like he should have. You know, he really wanted to be in the Hall of Fame and never made it into the Hall of Fame. I'm sure they'll probably put him in there posthumously now. He caught a lot of flack because of his want to go play softball, because he was really into softball. But according to like folks like Eric Bischoff and Dutch Mantell and some folks that have been talking about them on their podcast, he really did it. He really only wanted to be with his family. You know, he wanted to take time with his family and just used the softball excuse to get out of it. You know, kind of like when they made the comparison to when Dory Funk Jr. used to say that he wanted to take time off because his horse was sick. His horse wasn't sick. He just wanted to be with his family. So, you know, yeah, I mean, he's gonna be missed, and I'm sure that he will be receiving his just due over the course of the next year or so, as far as him getting into the Hall of Fame and whatnot. But yeah, he was influential when it came to, I mean, the former Horseman. You know, so yeah, he will get his flowers at some point.
Well, let's put a pin right there, take a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. And just like that, we're back like we never left. You said something, Nubian Sumo, before we went to break about him getting his flowers. And I think it was back in June, he actually tweeted out that he wanted to be in the WWF, well, the WWE now, Hall of Fame. And you think about it, and you're like, why is Sid Vicious not in the Hall of Fame?
Well, like I said, he had a lot of negative connotations brought against him. Like I said, like I was talking about, him wanting to um, leave because of the softball trips and softball games and whatnot. The incident that he had with Arn Anderson, which and Arn Anderson got stabbed with a pair of scissors by Sid Vicious. They buried the hatchet on that one. They hugged that one out. So way long time ago. So that's not an issue now. There was a lot of people who were saying that he worked sloppy. He had sloppy work, like when he was in the War Games match and he hurt Benoit with that choke slam. There've been a lot of negative connotations against him, and so that's been kind of holding him back from getting a lot of the accolades that he felt like he should have deserved, or others felt like he should have deserved.
Okay. Now, next topic, bringing it to the current generation. What current wrestler resembles Sid's intensity? Now, that's a tough question. People's Choice Don Rodriguez asked that question, and we here to answer it. Well, I'm not here to answer it. The Nubian Sumo's here to answer it. It's a tough question for me, but I wanted to hear what the Nubian Sumo had to say.
Right now, if I had to put that on anybody, it would have to be Gabe Kidd. Gabe Kidd out of New Japan, because that guy, I mean, when he was wrestling and when he started his career back in England and the UK, I mean, he was just this baby face trying to learn the business, getting taken advantage of, getting beat up, and whatnot. And then he decided he was going to just start all over, join the New Japan dojo, and become a young boy and just start all over. And now he's done a complete 180. I mean, he's cussing people out on screen. He's trying to maim people. I mean, he's running through folks like duck butter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, the transformation, but the way that as intense as he is now, and just the facial expressions and just he reminds me a lot of Sid Vicious now from back then. He even in his promos he comes off like Sid Vicious. The way Sid Vicious did, just the yelling and the anger in his promos. So I would have to, if I would give that to anybody right now, it would definitely be Gabe Kidd.
Now I'm gonna have to go check him out because I'm not familiar with the gentleman.
Well, yeah, he's currently the New Japan Strong Heavyweight Openweight Champion, and he's a member of Bullet Club. The Bullet Club War Dogs.
Okay.
So so he won't be hard to find. As a matter of fact, if you all want to know about his latest match, I will be talking about it on our Unhinged show here in a little bit. But he just did a show yesterday. He had his last match yesterday here in the DC area. So we will be talking about that here on the other show. But the guy, I mean, like I said, it's a full 180 as to the way he started out in Rev Pro and in What Culture and ICW and Progress and Defy. I mean, not Defy, but there's a company there's another English company that he was working with back in those days when he's first starting out. But complete 180 as to those days, as opposed to now.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to go pay some bills. So we're going to take this commercial break, come back with our last segment. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Now, we're in our last segment. Shane heading the invasion group in AEW. Contrary to popular beliefs, I hope this is not true. I'm not sure how you feel about it, Sumo, but this invasion angles never turn out the way that they should because they're always botched, i.e. the Alliance and the WWE invasion angle. What else? We've had several invasion angles over the years. The Nexus invading the Raw roster. I mean, geez. The only way an invasion angle could have worked the proper way was when DX was outside of WCW's venue trying to get them to open the door. That right there would have did record numbers and it would have been done right.
Yeah, it would have. But Eric Bischoff didn't want to pull the trigger. He said he says it himself. He regrets not opening that door now. And I mean, because if it had been me and I'd known that, oh yeah, that door, I would have opened that door myself. And I'd have been right there standing in the middle of that door as it was opening and being like, yeah, come on.
But to think that you had the Outsiders, aka NWO, on one side of the door, you had DX on the other side of the door, who were actually all a part of the clique. That would have been epic. I don't think it would have been like a knockdown, drag out fight or anything, but that would have been something great. That would have been great TV.
It would at least been a worked shoot.
Yes,
because they work together. They know what they're capable of, and they know what they can do to each other. So they're all friends, and they worked together in the past. It would have worked out. I'm sure they could have worked it out on the fly, but it's always going to be a what if now.
Cinematic masterpiece, chef's kiss. It would have been great. Anytime you can get WCW and WWF at the time in the same area, recording or not recording, but they were doing shows in the same area at the same time, and everybody was at the same gym meeting up, and they all worked out together, and then took that picture, that famous picture where I think it was Davey Boy Smith, Hogan, the Giant at the time, also known as Big Show, Savage, Austin. It was so many people from the current, the current rosters that were together in that picture. And it was no animosity. It was no problem. The things that could have been done. And especially when you get to the point where the McMahons buy WCW and you have WCW invade WWE, this is where things went wrong. But now, what are your thoughts on this Shane heading up an invasion group to AEW? Are we going to see another failed attempt at an invasion?
We don't know whether it'll be failed or not. I mean, it's just all potential right now. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, think about it. Shane putting together something as an invasion, so to speak. Let's just use the word invasion into AEW. Who would he get? Is this Moxley situation the start of this invasion? I mean, I find it curious that Moxley is going into the ring on Wednesday night with Tony Schiavone talking about this isn't your company anymore. And then you turn around and he's in the backstage beating up people with Marina Shafir, who is also former WWE. Then you see him. Then and is JBL part of this? I mean, you got JBL making his rounds around the world. I mean, him and AAA with Nick Nemeth. He goes to the TNA Emergence show and ends up in the ring with Nick Nemeth at the end of the show. He goes to GCW, Game Changer Wrestling, and is in the ring knocking people around. I mean, is JBL part of that? Who knows? I mean, it's just fine. I just find this funny. Who else in AEW is former WWE that you could align with Moxley?
For those of a certain age, this is where you insert Arsenio Hall and go things that make you go, But
I mean, I find it funny that John Moxley it's been said that he's going to go back to WWE. He's going to leave AEW, go back to WWE, but he's starting this storyline separate from the Blackpool Combat Club. It's interesting that you have Pac as a trios champion with Claudio and Wheeler Yuta. You got your world champion who's supposed to be part of Blackpool Combat Club as world champion now, hasn't even been seen with his teammates. I mean, this is funny. This is interesting. You know, what's going to end up happening with this? We don't know. We can't tell. Is it going to be a failure? Could be, might be. We know, like you said, we know our history with invasion angles. But is this the one that goes right? We just have to see.
Time will tell. And with that, it's time we get to that part of the show where we got to wrap this up, B. I wanted to say this. If you haven't already, please do so. Subscribe to us, like, subscribe, and share on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, whatever social media platform. Type in Sideline Junkies, you'll see the logo, one of the many logos that we have. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can check us out for the Sunday Rise, the Tuesday Night Flight, the Thursday Night Throwdown, as well as the Saturday Night Wrestlemaniacs Unhinged on YouTube and Facebook Live. And also one of our new segments, The Gridiron, which showcases a virtual league of College Football 25 done by the Sideline Junkies and our cohorts. So you can check that out as well. We do a recap every Saturday of that. Nubia Sumo, any thoughts before we get out of here?
Well, you know you got to break down. Just because Don ain't here, don't mean you can't do your job, bro. You gotta tell them where they see us on TV, man.
Well, yes. I'm glad you said that. I love it that you did that because I gotta pull this up. Let me get us right here. Let me get us situated so I can move us over here. Boom. Coming soon to a TV near you. You will have the Saturday Night Wrestlemaniacs, Beyond Me the Show, and All In Football on Me TV. Let me get the list right here so I can tell you which cities we can be in, and you'll see exactly where the Sideline Junkies can be seen. Time and dates coming very, very soon. But you can see us: New York, Phoenix, Hartford, Los Angeles, Seattle, Des Moines, Chicago, Cleveland, South Bend, Dallas, Nashville, Orlando, Houston, Salt Lake City, St. Louis, Milwaukee, and Washington, D.C. So make sure you got your face in a place so you can see the Sideline Junkies on TV.
That's right. This pretty face here got to get his TV time. And I need somebody to watch it, somebody to look at it. Otherwise, I'm wasting my time being on television and giving you folks the privilege of watching your champion and all this prettiness.
I got no rebuttal from that. So head on over to Facebook and YouTube and check out Saturday Night Wrestlemaniacs Unhinged coming up next. But until next week, that's the Nubian Sumo. I'm the big guy KG. I think the line for this show is diversify your bonds.
Nah, wrong one. We can't talk about that. We can't talk like that on TV.
Well, we still don't do no overtime, but we out of here.
Eagle Pride.